All right, and welcome back. A long extended break for you, but we're back now with the European IESF qualifiers as we make our way to the lower bracket. It's looking to be interesting as four teams are going to get eliminated in this round, and right now we've got Croatia, Bulgaria as results from the previous slew of games was Greece 2-0 over Poland. Sweden and North Macedonia are in game three right now. Belarus won 2-0 over Moldova, and Ukraine 2-0 Turkey. So, pretty as it should be so far, but we'll see who wins and takes on Poland in the next matchup because that is where it looks like it's going to be. So, Croatia, Bulgaria, the winner would take on Poland, which could potentially have Nisha back.
Yeah, you can definitely see that Nisha is a big part of the team. Like when he's gone, you just don't have the same firepower.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever is going to be facing them, which is being played later today actually. I don't know if Nisha's going to be there or not.
It
But
depends.
who do you got for this one?
I kind of want to lean Croatia, but
Croatia's good.
Croatia they went 3-2, technically 2-2 because their game against Wales was a DQ.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Bulgaria went 3-2, but two of their wins were against Denmark and Azerbaijan. And I believe their one win in the group stage was, I want to say, who was it against? It was against Belarus, which was a forfeit due to Belarus not having a full roster. So technically, they went 2-2 as well, and their two wins only coming against the two bottom teams in that group. So I'm not really too sure about that Bulgarian roster, but we'll have to see.
I'm honestly a little bit surprised that Croatia, like I know all of the guys in there, that they didn't start in the winner bracket. Like I thought that team is so well practiced and in sync, they should at least be, a top 4 to 5 material.
Mm-hmm. Well, they
Hmm.
were complimenting you in the lobby chat. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but they were saying a real black best AM player. So
Of course, I'm here to
they
give
still.
you my non-biased power.
God, that was very dad of you to type and say what you're typing at the same time.
Of course, and you gotta make sure everybody knows what you're saying
Yeah, yeah,
as you're
yeah.
doing it, because otherwise, they might not believe you.
Of course, of course. But yeah, so this Cro-
Lemonade.
this Croatian roster, it's got DNZ, it's got Mitch on it, two guys who have had some pretty solid pro careers. And do you know the other three guys? Beauty, Demos, and DZY.
DZY, yes. DNZ, yes. The only one that I don't know is Beauty, actually.
Hmm.
Not entirely sure. Maybe he's like a new up and coming star from the region. I guess the next game will show us what he's made of. Honestly,
Right.
being a 5 in this patch, first of all, I don't think supports exist anymore. It's a long gone concept. They're like
Mhm.
semi cores now. And
Yeah,
cores are like uber cores.
yeah, it does feel like everybody's got cores. Gone are the days of supports having one item,
Yeah.
basically.
They have like, Glimmer K before stuff, a Ghost Scepter all at once to protect yourself and teammates. You remember? Have you played Dota 1 actually, or did you start with Dota 2?
I did not play Dota 1.
Did you not play Dota 1?
Nope.
But a lot of people who did play Dota 1 are these guys from Bulgaria. Actually, I don't want to lie. I don't know if my control did play Dota 1 or not. I think I remember talking to him while I was owning him at ping pong,
Mm-hmm.
but he was also kind of drunk and on the floor most of the time, so I don't know if that counts or not.
Well, I believe this roster from Bulgaria doesn't have Mastermind on it, who's taken over for BZM. This is So, without BZM, I do feel like they're maybe lacking a little bit of firepower. We see that with Poland. Without Nisha, Poland's struggling in their matchup.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they don't just bring that raw skill, right? These players, they also bring a vast amount of experience, probably shot calling, knowing where to be at what time. It's incredibly important, and it goes well beyond just playability.
Right. So, if you had to guess, who do you think's winning this series?
It's tough, to be honest. Like as I said, I thought Croatia wasn't even going to be here to begin with, but I didn't expect Bulgaria to be here either. So maybe I overestimated them a little bit coming into it. But
Right.
I mean, the playing field is pretty strong as well. In terms of synergy and just team play, Croatia should have the upper hand by quite a bit, but probably raw skill, Bulgaria is just a little bit stronger. And I mean, we'll have to see how the draft comes along, because usually that good team synergy really just comes into play when you have good drafts. If you have bad drafts, you just lose the lane. You can't really do much with it anyway.
Right. I will say the two matches that Bulgaria did win didn't exactly come easy to them. 40-minute game against Azerbaijan, 30-minute game against Denmark that looked better. But the games that they lost, their lanes broke down very quickly.
Yeah, that's right now the biggest, sin in Dota. Losing 2 lanes historically already meant you're quite far behind, but especially in a snowball patch like this, where tank items are so important and easy to come by.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose 2 lanes, all of the enemy team just gets mega tanky. They have all the auras, and it makes a comeback almost impossible. That's why I'm personally not a big fan of this current meta, of this big current patch. It's just too easy to get tanky, and the tank items also give you more damage or more resources to, still be able to kill the enemy team anyway.
Right.
So like Eternal Shroud, for example, you're just like a mana battery while also getting spell resistance and like 500 health. It's like, what is this item? Why is it in Dota? We don't need that item. Because you always have to choose. Well, you always had to choose, not anymore, between do I want to be survivable? Do I want to farm? Do I want to fight? Now you can do the same. You can do all of them with just one item. Why?
Yeah. Sometimes it feels as though they don't even need one item, right?
Yeah, it's something I mentioned before, the power creep in Dota. I think the last time I complained about it to you was actually when we were in Romania still, and we got a couple of patches there. Because the power creep was very apparent there already. And it just doesn't seem to stop, Now they added facets, which again adds a different layer of balance again, where some heroes just completely get overpowered with it, where others become useless because of it. And it's just more and more layers in an already impossible to balance game, which makes it even more impossible to balance. It's a very slippery slope, I think. And we've been going overboard a little lately.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's you've got so many moving parts now for Dota.
Yeah.
Just
Where does it
feels
end?
impossible. Yeah, it feels impossible for it to really feel like anything's going to change, right? Because you've got, like you said, talents, facets, just the skills, or even the base stats or anything like that. It feels like it's almost impossible. So,
Do you remember when patches like addressed everything? Like map changes, skill
yeah,
changes, stats changes. Nowadays, I feel every patch, every small patch, just addresses one thing because there's just too many. One patch almost only changes talents, the other patch almost only changes neutral items, then the next probably going to change facets, so on and so on and so on. You have way too much content now to actually get out a proper balance patch in one go. It's not possible. There's just too much.
yeah. It's
Too much,
definitely
for sure. Yeah.
it
So
it
go ahead.
definitely feels like each patch is going to be one thing in particular that they'll change, either the map or the facets or this. Like,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
if it's ever anything all at one time, it could be just too overwhelming.
But that's also why I think the meta has been so stagnant. Ever since that huge map change, just because every time we have a huge patch that addresses one of these areas, right? The meta's not going to change because of that. And then the next patch, it's still going to have the same meta, and you change something else again, but it's still not going to influence enough to change the meta. So the meta will always be the same, no matter what you change, just because you can't change enough, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like you don't have the ability to change enough moving parts that the meta would ever break down, unless you completely change the map or something, like you did before, which I hope
Yeah.
they do soon.
Yeah, I'm a full a full patch of everything changing would be interesting, but whether or not it actually happens,
And spoiler alert, never does.
uh, who knows, right?
Yeah,
If it'll ever
yeah.
happen.
We're allowed to dream, right?
I guess so. Um, w- Truthfully, I mean, I guess what can you do? You can only just wait.
Wait and hope.
Yeah.
Wait and hope. Have you ever played Team Fortress 2?
Once or twice, not too often, honestly.
So I played it quite a lot, like even scrims and clan wars and stuff. And I hope Dota never gets the Team Fortress treatment down the line.
Hmm.
I'm sure you have read those comments before.
Some of them, yeah, where it just
Yeah.
doesn't, things don't change that much.
But the player base is still like super loyal.
Yeah, I could definitely see, it all staying pretty loyal, honestly. But
Yeah.
other than that, not really sure.
Do-
What happens. I'm hoping that it stays afloat. I hope everything stays going well. And that's what.
Honestly, it's quite hard to find a more mm, yeah, loyal is a good word, I think. Community than Dota.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like I've rarely ever seen players of a game not wanting to play like any other game. Like Dota players really just play Dota, it seems like.
Yeah. Um. I I was having this conversation with somebody about like Dota players will reach out to other MOBAs. Like Dota players are more willing to play League, whereas League players aren't as willing to play Dota or anything else.
Yeah, it might be very true.
But
But
Dota
it's mostly
players
because
always
we have
come
the
back.
stereotype, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the stereotype of being the most complicated, which is makes it quote unquote the most fun, right?
Yeah. Well, you'd think so. So
Yeah, I mean some people, a lot of people in fact, enjoy the simplicity, which
yeah.
life can't always be too complicated. Otherwise, we're gonna be stressed all the time. Who wants to be stressed all the time? No one. Right? Heh heh.
Definitely not. I mean, you hope it's easy going, but we'll see if it continues that way for Dota. And we should be getting started here in just a minute on this, as it looks as though it will be Mastermind, Low Plebs here. Mind Control is also here. So
Yeah,
looks like
same
full
lineup as before.
rosters other than BZM, and BZM hasn't exactly been here for any of the matchups. So it's what everybody has been working with up to this point so far.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing that BZM is not gonna be able to play at all. I think he could have really added a lot of value to the team. But what can you do?
I will
They'll have
say
to
if
make do
Nisha's
without him.
getting away with it for some of them, I'm surprised that BZM isn't, because I think they're in the same place right now, unless BZM traveled back or something happened. Who knows?
Yeah, especially because BZM, was eliminated much earlier into the tournament already. Like Nisha was actually playing while they were still playing
He still
Riyadh
is.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, he definitely still is. So I think right now they're about to 2-0 Falcons. So they're doing that, and they're going to be playing in the grand final, which means Nisha's not going to be playing in the
Uh-oh.
bracket.
Not what Poland fans wanted to hear. Or maybe
Yeah.
that is what they wanted to hear. That's always like the tough decision, right? Like, do
Yeah.
you cheer for Liquid as a Poland fan? Like, obviously, you really want Nisha to do well. But it also means that, I mean, they can still win without him, It's not impossible, but I mean, Nisha is pretty. I don't even know. Would I want to have any other player on my team than Nisha? Nisha is pretty insane.
Yeah, he definitely makes a huge difference.
Yeah, 100%. As I said before, he was part of the team and of the Polish team for so long as well. their synergy was just absolutely crazy when they played together. Like night and day without him. Night and day. The experience he brings, everything.
Yeah, agreed. So, like I said, we should be getting started soon, but I could definitely see this one being Croatia 2-0.
Same. In fact, I believe it is going to be a 2-0 either way. Like Bulgaria, what they need right now is just some good fire starter. They have the skill, the individual skill available. I just feel like the team as a whole, it feels a little bit deflated, perhaps. Maybe because they didn't get the results they thought they should get with the lineups they fielded, because they tried to field the best lineup possible. So they probably expected easy winner bracket and to probably easy qualification. Now they're facing elimination in the first round already. Like, it's a tough path from here.
Yeah, we talked about the difference between upper and lower bracket, where upper bracket you only need to win 2 BO3s to be on to the to be qualified, and then lower bracket it's 4 BO3s if you start in this first round, and 3 BO3s if you start in the next round, which Moldova and Turkey and Poland unfortunately have. It is a longer road to the lower bracket, which is always the case, and you only have one life, whereas upper bracket, you have 2 lives to live. Although, of course, with Moldova, Turkey, and Poland, they've already used one of those lives.
Yeah. So as we're settling into the lobby now, I want to get your thoughts on something. So traditional sports doesn't have double elim, right? It's group stage, single elim, you lose, you're done.
Right.
Do you think winner bracket is too much of an advantage?
Nah, not exactly. I wouldn't say that.
You don't think so? Because, like, let's say TI, for example, you get one win. Well, previous formats. This one's probably going to be different. But previous formats, you win one BO3, you're top 12. Top 6, sorry, instantly. Whereas people from the lower bracket, they have to win like 4 or 5 matches to even get to the top 6.
Then play better in the group stage.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I do think you should be rewarded for the winner bracket, or like for not losing.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like the winner bracket advantage is pretty damn massive. Like, it's insane.
Right.
What kind of shortcut it presents to you in terms of getting a high placement. Because if you lose first round, you're basically almost the same as the loser bracket first round, right? But then suddenly, if you win one game, you skip like 3 matches.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an advantage to that, but I think it's well earned, truthfully. If
Fair.
you've done well enough in the group stage. In sports, yeah, there may not be that double elimination, but you do play a series, like when you're playing in hockey or baseball or basketball, it is a series of 7 games.
Yeah, it is. So you're not really a fan of how League does it?
League's Worlds is like single elim, isn't it?
The entire thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge
I think
fan
it's
of
4
that.
teams group stage and then single elim playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, especially because their like Worlds takes longer than TI, and they're doing single elim. Like I think there was one year, and it may not even still be the case, but like each round of the playoff bracket was like a week in between each other.
Yeah, they're setting up huge productions and everything for every portion of it.
Yeah, so like the first round was on November 3rd, and then the next round was on November 11th, and then the finals, just the final, which is just a BO5, was 8 days after that on November 19th. So you're telling me all these BO5s, because League is all BO5s instead of BO3s, which I like, but you're telling me, 7 BO5s is taking a full month? I get the production's high, but you could do the same amount of... You could do a double elimination bracket with that amount of time.
You could, for sure. But I do sincerely really like the atmosphere it creates, though. Like, having literally just the finals on one day after a long break, it builds up a ton of anticipation for everybody, you know? And you
Yes
really
and
get this
no.
like sort of concert feeling.
I would say yes and no, because like you're there for that one BO5, and like this year, T1 did it 3-0.
Yeah.
The maps were 30 minutes each or less, so it's just an hour and a half day.
Well, of
All
course,
this
there's like,
anticipation for an hour and a half.
I mean, there's lots of interviews, you know, there's a lot of side content, but yeah, of course, 1.5 hours of gameplay. But truth be told, I feel like the gameplay is not really in the forefront at these Riot events.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they're trying to create something that the Esports World Cup is trying to create now as well, where your whole family has something to do, you know, not just the league fans, but other people around as well.
Right.
And I mean, I hope esports in general will at some point evolve to that stage where, you know, it can just be like a family thing, not just a, you know, game fan sort of thing. Well, enough about that. Let's descend into the draft. Bulgaria versus Spirit Breaker. First pick, Hoodwink, Centaur. Centaur, another hero we have seen a whole lot. Was very
Right.
popular in previous patches, but got nerfed quite a bit. I mean, not super much. It's still Centaur very strong. Hoodwink Centaur, very strong lane as well. But I'm a big Spirit Breaker fan. Gives you global catch, makes it hard to split push. Yeah, just in general, having Spirit Breaker makes playing the mid game relatively easy.
Right. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not so sold on all this just yet. I'm so tired of Hoodwink.
It's
Honestly,
there all the time, man.
honestly tired of SB as well.
Yeah, but that's the problem that I previously sort of alluded to. The meta has been the same for so long, and it's not gonna change. You know?
It does, though. I would say it does at EWC. Like it's changing with the tier 1 teams, but with the teams that are of this caliber for this event, I feel like it's a lot more of a small, you know, field of teams.
Yeah, it's always very hard to make changes. So the reason why T1 teams can do it, because they obviously have analysts, and they put a lot more time into really figuring out what's good and what can work together.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're, you know, just a pickup team, basically what a lot of these teams are, it's quite tough to even get the practice with any new strat. So you just want to stick to what you know is good. So what they do, I mean, Marcy, SF, SB, very solid draft. As you said, it's just a little, we know what they're gonna do, kind of thing.
Right. So we'll see what they want to pick here. As Hoodwink Centaur is probably your lane.
Yeah. I really hope it's not a support Marcy.
Mm.
I feel 5 Marcy is really so underwhelming. 4 Marcy can work, but even that is quite risky in my opinion.
They end up going Tusk, so it may not even be Hoodwink 4 at this point. Although Tusk 5, it does all right.
Yeah, we have seen Tusk Middle as well. Not recently though.
Not the biggest fan of that.
Yeah, it's quite unstable, isn't it?
That's something that you would do, though, mid.
It's fun. You get a quick axe to kick people in.
Minute and 15 remaining on their reserve time, and they end up going into the Windrunner, which we've seen a bit of. It's not the most common of picks, but we've seen it. It almost feels like a pick ban in the fact that Bulgaria have played it for mind control a couple times.
Yeah, MC really seems to enjoy it here a lot. Honestly, I know in pro level 1, tier 1 Dota, the tier is not really that popular. But
Yeah.
in this tournament in general, we have seen it a lot. Like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What are the differences there? Well, obviously, the better your team is, the better you will be at playing around and punishing Wind Ranger. But let's be real, this is much more, as I said before, like a pickup scenario, a pickup sort of environment where your team play isn't going to be perfect, your players aren't going to be perfect. Lots of, heroes like Wind Ranger can really exploit that fact.
Right.
That's why I'm surprised we don't see more Storm Spirit and stuff like that, because they should be even stronger in such an environment.
Mm-hmm.
Underlord.
I like it. I like Underlord.
Me too. Underlord. Now I really hope Marcy's not a support. Like, Underlord Marcy lane sounds horrible. Spirit Breaker Underlord lane sounds horrible too.
Underlord Marcy was probably the lane.
I hope it's carry Marcy, truth be told.
I mean, it keeps it open, right?
Yeah.
But like, they're gonna ban carries anyway on the side of Croatia, maybe even to force that.
Now looking through the carries, what else would be good? So they're actually banning mids. They're expecting a carry SF potentially even, which has seen a fair amount as well in this qualifier.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what they end up doing. They ban the Ember, so they're banning mids because they could just be safe lane Shadow Fiends as well. So
Angrily out. So they're pretty set on
yeah.
this idea already.
Yeah, the idea that Shadow Fiends are just gonna go safe lane.
Yeah. Against Centaur Hoodwink though. It's very scary.
Right.
It can blow you up super fast.
They're also banning mids here, so they've got the first pick of the two. Could see. We
Now,
could see. I mean, Bat Rider was picked mid earlier today. Void
yeah, I don't
Spirit could
mind
come
Bad Rider.
through. Rubik as well. So we'll have to see. What could it be? Only 13 seconds, so they got to make a choice pretty quickly. And they go Rubik, which could mean Marcy safe lane, could mean Rubik mid.
Rubik mid. The Thompson special. I mean, he himself is doing very well with that. So I would love to see it. Honestly, I think Rubik mid has a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
Quite hard to play though. Very easy to just fall off and fall behind, not be able to do a whole lot of anything.
Right.
Take your pick, my friends. Could this be a carry Marcy too? Like, their lineup is really quite open. Very hard to predict what they're gonna do.
Definitely. It's hard to say. And you can truthfully Bulgaria pick around it. You don't have to set anything in stone at the moment. They go TA. So we'll see who picks what where. Offlane Rubik. Mid Underlord. Safe lane Shadow Fiend. Support Marcy Spirit Breaker.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean Bulgaria have been doing this kind of weird picks for mind control.
They have, and I mean, it kind of worked out for him. He usually did very well in his lane. Even if your team didn't end up winning, he always did an impeccable job.
And then DZY, he's going to be on the mid Templar Assassin, safe lane Windrunner, off lane Centaur, 4-position Hoodwink and the 5-position Tusk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who do you like more?
Honestly, I'm a big fan of the Rubik in a core position. So I just purely out of my heart, I'm gonna go for Bulgaria. I know MC loves the Rubik as well. So let's see what he can do compared to a player like Thompson,
Right.
who's historically a whole lot flashier.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So we load into this first game of a BO3. It's definitely, a little bit different with it being a BO3 situation and not a BO1. You have a little bit more to give, but we saw in the last series, losing game 1 felt like a nail in the coffin anyway.
Very much so, yeah. Like losing game 1, especially. Again, I keep coming back to this sort of pickup scenario. It can be very tough mentally to really get out of that.
I wonder if we'll see first blood, 5-man smoke here from the Croatian lineup. As they'll see Mastermind. And at this point, not that tanky. Charge comes through, and there's first blood for DNZ. Immediately traded with Mind Control getting a kill there on Beauty. Blood Grenade on to 3. They do have Charge again in a second. No more mana left on Lil Pleb. Another Blood Grenade. A raise hits. Power Shot comes through. Mitch ends up dying. La Jolla ends up dead too. Still a 2 for 2.
Very interesting exchange there early on.
Yeah, it feels very SEA, very, loose.
Yeah, it didn't feel very planned from either side, It kind of just happened.
And I guess Mastermind is going off lane, and Mind Control is going to be playing mid.
Oh, wow.
Which is a little bit of a surprise with Underlord being in the pick, but, maybe that gives you an idea with Bulgaria maybe taking this a little bit more lax, I would say.
Yeah, or they're trying to make changes because of what happened so far. Or it could just be that Mind Control is super comfortable with Rubik.
It could be, but you'd assume he's very comfortable with Underlord as well.
Yeah, but maybe the other Mastermind is not as comfortable on the Rubik.
Yeah, very interesting. We'll see how that ends up panning out for Mind Control and them. If DZY can put on a show against Mind Control. We saw how important mid was in the last series. Mid got beat up hard. So it'll be interesting to see. That's for sure.
Mind Control. TA absolutely owns Rubik, though. Generally. Rubik will always farm because of the Rubik, but TA should definitely have the advantage there.
TA should have the advantage, but right now 8-0 to the 4-0. That is, of course, with a creep wave coming in, so we'll see if DZY can keep it going pretty perfectly.
Yeah, I always got to keep in mind, too, that, of course, TA becomes much stronger later on.
Right. Yeah, just get that, Blink Dagger Deso, and you're in a pretty decent spot. Or the Dragonlance Deso without the Blink. It depends on what you want to do.
Are you an early BKB fan? Like before Deso, or does it have to be Deso?
Depends on the game. I would rather it not be so early.
The BKB, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Deso is also just an acceleration item on TA.
Yeah, it just feels like it's so core. They've got the charge. Good shards. And this is going to be a dead Mastermind. Well, Hoya is in trouble, too, because he's got charge on cooldown. He's still just level 1.
Yeah, it always makes you wonder how comfortable is a player like Mastermind in the offlane, like, at all. Right?
Right.
Because I'm sure he doesn't play it too much in his pub games.
Yeah, that's true. Probably sticking to everything that you want to keep the same, right?
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe Mind Control is gonna absolutely impress us with his showing.
He'd have to on this Rubik, but TA staying with the Rubik the entire time in terms of CS is definitely not making me feel all too confident.
Especially on a hero like Rubik, that's so hit or miss. It's very scary to just bust it out.
This is a little pleb getting nothing out of this top lane, by the way. Seven and 3 right now. That feels pretty awful.
Damn. Yeah, especially on SF, who historically is a very strong laner.
Looked at La Jolla for a second, but mid DZY still doing great. Meld Strike, and there is a charge coming through. Not a lot of mana left on DZY. Blood Grenade even used. Kind of getting a sense that something is happening, and the charge comes into the meld, but it won't matter. And they will get that kill. Good shards, but not enough damage here for this Tusk. Okay. It was a bash from a distance. They really needed those TPs to come out much quicker than that.
100%. Yeah, you really don't want to lose your TA in a fashion like that. Because once TA is level 6, then a Rubik has to be really scared.
We'll see if that continues. SF needs to really just survive. But that being said, Mitch taking a lot of damage. The body blocks are there. The raises are in. They've got the dispose. They'll find themselves too.
Yeah, the power asset that we spoke about. Yeah, the raise stacking is just incredibly strong. The amount of damage it deals in lane. And let me see, did he take the... Yeah, so he took the movement speed slow talent as well. Yeah, brutal for a hero like Centaur that doesn't want to buy boots.
Not really what I was expecting in terms of the SF coming back like that. But what can you do? That being said, CS still looks good for this Radiant Croatian side.
I mean, SF has historically always been a hero though that catches back up quite easily, even after losing lane. Not as much from the carry role. From the carry role, you usually want to win lane and then snowball from there.
They've got both supports looking over mid. First power rune is going to be picked up by Mind Control. It's the shield rune to start. Honestly, not the worst one to give up if you're TA. And TA now with the traps, stack this jungle quite a bit. Farm it up pretty easily.
And you're also a huge threat now to the TA. To the Rubik. You have to make sure that Rubik doesn't steal those traps. Because then he basically becomes a TA himself. And it's not what you want at all.
Right. What's TA going for? Just treads right now? Wraith Band, no Talisman, treads?
Yeah, it's usually the decision then is a Dragonlance Deso or Blink Deso. Or Blink BKB is also a popular one.
Dealing meld there. Game kind of quieted down. These side lanes for Croatia felt like they could get aggressive, but losing both heroes top to the Shadow Fiend put an end to that. Especially without Stampede, only level 5 right now. Rebounds, and they'll have the follow-up disposed, but here comes some TPs. Bushwhack, and with the Acorn shot, they're able to get that kill. Got Mitch and Tusk here. So that's a good turnaround. That's a good kill to get. knock out some of those souls. And now bottom lane, though, is it going to be staying open and available? No, it's actually the other way around. They tried to go with the Pit of Malice and the Firestorm. And instead, Deimos, he's able to get a kill with this Windrunner, now sitting level 6. Use that Focus Fire. And, I mean, that feels pretty good with both supports coming bottom. They've got good shards again. And the Blood Grenade Power Shot, that gets the kill. Top lane once more. Now the Stampede to leave.
Yeah, nice center also just get out of there. But yeah, you can just feel that Mastermind really isn't all that comfortable. Like, the lane isn't super easy by any means, but it's not supposed to be that difficult. Like last lane against Windranger as an underlord is pretty manageable. But he's gotten completely bullied off the lane, and he's dead again now.
Shackle shot, power shot, easy. And this Windrunner is going to get out of control pretty quickly.
Yeah, this feels pretty bad.
Look at the farm that Windrunner has, actually.
She's rich. I mean, all the cores on the Radiant side are pretty rich thing. Now, Rubik is still doing well for himself. He's going for the Phylactery, not the Dagon build. Like, a lot of them like the Dagon build a lot. Charge up top. No Centaur ult this time.
Yeah, no Stampede and no rotations coming out. So they're going to leave him to die. Even with the triple bracer. Nothing going on. So, they look on control. Steals Bushwhack. Ooh, kind of styling here. And DNZ's going to die. They'll end up getting this kill onto the Hoodwink. As Shards blocking La Jolla. They've got the rebound, the dispose. If they have anything to help this out, Rubik comes over and does have Bushwhack again, if need be, and grabs 2. Power shot is available and used. Does some damage, but not enough damage as it wasn't held up for a long time. And now Rubik even steals the Wind Run. Gets a lot out of the stolen spells and allows them to get 2 kills.
Yeah, my control, as I said, loves Rubik.
Focus fire.
You can see he's very, very
Mastermind's dead.
Again. He just has no game. And Underlord is a hero that really needs a game. Very hard for him to come back into it. You want to be this unkillable tank in the mid game. Definitely not going to be the case in this game. But yeah, just quickly, mind control on his Rubik. I love his spell control. He's doing so well.
Feels like it's just a matter of time, though.
Yeah, it always is with Rubik, isn't it? Like, you're just waiting for that one moment where he gets one shot or so.
Doesn't quite feel as though that they have much more, and Bushwhack lands, Sharpshooter, power shot. Sharpshooter comes in, Snowball's there. They get the kill on La Jolla. Shackle connects to the trio off to the side. They've got the shards blocking in this Marcy, but Marcy survives, and Underlord, well, right into a Bushwhack, even with that Fiend's Gate. So we'll actually go back towards mid, go for the TA. They've got the Pit of Malice, trying to run with the Stampede. Able to escape and even turn this around. Bushwhack now onto this Rubik. But Shadow Fiend's coming in. They've got an amplified damage on the Rubik, so a power shot's going to kill off the Hoodwink. They've got the Firestorm on this Tusk. They'll bring over the Windrunner.
And a power shot soon. Oh yeah.
You
gotta be so careful giving that away. Like a level 4 power shot on a Rubik deals so much damage. Absolutely ridiculous. It also slows you for like 5 seconds.
Definitely does. And surprising, the game's staying pretty even. Shadow Fiend having a much better time now. He's farming real well, but Mind Control getting another kill on this Tusk. And they've got the Nether Strike onto the TA. Rebound into the meld. Pops the Unleash. Can they get the damage out? Hoodwink will at least get La Jolla. They've got the Hoof Stomp. Unleash still available. Blade Mail's going to run out in a second. Stolen Hoof Stomp onto the Hoodwink. Power Shot comes through and kills off this Marcy. Acorn Shot bouncing. Shackle Shot connects on a Mastermind. Bushwhack there on the Rubik. And they've got the Power Shot. Mastermind going to try and TP out of this. And will do so with no Shackle. As Windrunner continuing to get the benefits of all these kills.
He's playing so well on the Wind Ranger. Actually, finally getting rid of that menace also that MC is. And yeah, Wind Ranger is also a very flimsy hero though, right? Like, it could just come to a point where she also dies very quickly and just gets taken out of the game. I've never been the biggest fan of carry Wind Ranger. It just feels too, as I said, like, too unpredictable, you know? Checker reliant. But we'll see. So far, he's having a perfect game. It can definitely work, especially if you play that well.
Right. Fiend's Gate towards top. Nobody dying with the Stampede usage just yet. Acorn Shot doing some massive damage on a La Jolla. Now they go to the Nether Strike. Fade Bolt, Walrus Punch. That was stolen. And one more right click from Mind Control to get another kill. So, we'll smoke again. TA 300 gold away from this Desolator. And yeah, Windrunner is your carry for now, but I'm going to have to say I believe that the TA is your end-all be-all carry, as now they've got the charge, and they'll get this kill. Another Stolen Walrus Punch hit. Telekinesis and Tusk may have come into the wrong area. That was a 7-time spree going to Mind Control, by the way, as they'll unleash and kill off this Tusk. Bushwhack whiffs. And all of a sudden, Bulgaria kind of hitting their stride.
Nice rotation. Killing that Wind Ranger. I think it netted them over 1,000 gold. Also narrowing down the map now with the tower kills. But that's sort of what I mean. Like, Wind Ranger never really builds for HP. The only survivability you have is a Wind Run. If Rubik steals that Walrus Punch, which pierces evasion, of course, you don't care about that at all. You're never going to scale as well as other heroes just because of how easy it is for you to die once they have like any sort of MKB. Like, if SF gets quite big, gets that MKB as like 3rd or 4th item, it's going to be very tough for the Wind Ranger to do much of anything.
Now they have a little bit of a lead here on the side of Bulgaria. We'll see if they can maintain it and hold on, as TA now has the Deso going into the Dragonlance.
Deso into Dragonlance, which is not the most common build-up. Usually it's the other way around, so you're a little bit more survivable and can fight early on.
Right.
But yeah, not too bad at all.
We'll see how they use this, though. Shadow Fiend, Yasha going into the Dragonlance, and I believe has the full Manta with the Courier coming out.
Yeah.
Mind Control has the Phylactery. He's going into the Dagon. See what he accomplishes.
Lots of spell damage is what he will accomplish.
Yeah. And he's got Walrus Punch still for like 10 more seconds. Hopefully, he'll hope to steal something again. Something hard-hitting so he can get a kill with it. Uses it on a creep before it runs out with that Walrus Punch. These heroes just kind of sitting back on the side of Bulgaria for the moment.
Yeah, I actually think... Okay, it's quite a tough call, because Rubik falls off quite harshly. Potentially. I mean, Rubik can also become an absolute monster in the late game with the right positioning and whatnot, which MC is definitely capable of.
Right.
But, like, TA Wind Ranger just sounds more solid. Right? Like, much more solid than a Rubik SF duo.
Right now, the Rubik SF duo, though, is winning, so...
They are for now, but they should be winning. This is really where Rubik is strong at.
Three heroes smoked up. Looking for something, but not going to find it. So SF continues to farm the Ancients and continuing to raise this lead. Mastermind even finding his way back into the game, only 300 gold behind Mitch. He's happy with that.
Yeah, low pleb. Also, as we said before, had a hard time, but SF, He's just an enormously fast farmer. Now that the minus armor actually works and creeps properly, the raises for neutrals. Has to be careful though, he's still very squishy. Went for a Manta set, which is not very traditionally built on SF nowadays. It's not terrible, of course, but yeah, generally people think there's better choices. Like an earlier BKB.
Hope stomp.
AC.
Bushwhack with the acorn shot. Snowball comes in. Power shot's there. They'll get the kill with the walrus punch. Ends up killing himself with the walrus punch, though. And they get La Jolla. They've got this focus fire doing some damage with this Maelstrom. Has 14 charges on that wand, which he'll pop, but the damage is too much for Deimos. But they lose the Marcy. They lose the Underlord. 4 heroes dead. Maybe a 5th, but just getting the TP out on the side of Mind Control in Bulgaria. So ends up being a 4 for 2.
Yeah, at least I got the Wind Ranger as a consolation prize, but definitely not what you were looking for. Especially in own triangle. That's always the biggest problem with SF if you don't build early BKB. Like, it's a very greedy build up to go Manta and not BKB. Like, if you had a BKB there, I think he just presses Requiem and he's completely fine. But that obviously didn't happen. He died. All his teammates got baited in by trying to help him. Definitely a little bit of a friendship syndrome there. And now map control back to the Croatia lineup. I think we're starting to see it. The Rubik factor.
Yeah, a little bit. TA did get 2 extra double charges, obviously, because they're 2 each, but got 2, which was 4 charges on this Desolator, and now foregoing the Dragonlance and going into the Blink Dagger instead. Oh, no, never mind. Just bought out on the Dragonlance.
Well, he'll have to get into a Blink Dagger eventually. I hope he will at least. Because following up on Centaur's initiation is very strong, and you need somebody to follow up there.
Right. So they get that kill on the Tusk. Hoodwink going all the way back as they start to drift towards bottom on the Radiant side and maybe get a kill here on somebody sticking nearby, but they don't have any real vision on it. Maybe their thought process was to go for Roche. They've got this silence with the shard on the TA. They've got the telekinesis, though. Meld strike, power shot, double edge to get the kill there onto the Marcy. They do have Deso. They could go for Roche if they really wanted to.
They do it quite quick, but at the same time, they're pretty well set up there, the rest of the team. And they don't necessarily need Marcy to fight right now. But thinking... Maybe they just don't want to fight, but I really feel like they don't want to give away this Roshan for free. Like, at least scout, deter them a little bit. Because this is going to be a fast one. They're all in the area. Oh, they're coming, they're coming. This could be a good one for them. Oh, nice on smoke. Oh, that's so bad for them.
Yeah, this could be a problem. Snowball comes in. Shards are great in blocking. They've got the SF hitting from maybe a little bit too far away, but the Requiem hits on a Mitch, as well as Beauty. They get the kill there. They'll trade Mind Control. Ahoya's next to die. The rebound off of him onto this Windrunner, though. With the Unleash, it's a 3 for 3. And DNZ's next. 4 heroes dead. TATP's out. And that will end up being Roshan for Bulgaria somehow, even though that's set up real well for the side of Croatia.
They were not completely ready, unfortunately. Like, if there was immediate follow-up, man, this fight would have been completely one-sided for the Croatian team. But how it turned out, now SF is the king of the match. From a 0 to hero, quite literally.
He was just hidden away the entire time, even though he was from outside of those shards. Good shards there. Manta, though, used. Now Snowball off to an illusion. The right clicks are going to kill off this Tusk.
Another freebie. Look at these shards here and the bushwhack. Like, if the team was ready to follow up right away there, like, I'm just going to say, if the TA had a Blink Dagger there instead of a Dragonlance, this fight is done.
Yeah, you just blink and sideblades them all.
Yeah. As it just gets to hit, and hit more, and hit more. Yeah, the right-click SF can be very scary in this sort of scenarios. Like, they're all pretty decently low armor heroes. So the -7 from the presence, huge deal for them. And you just saw how much his right clicks actually hurt. Like quarter health from the supports, one hit, one tap.
Right. TA gonna grab this Tormentor, almost dying to it. Jeez.
Huh. Yeah, it's not as easy anymore with the new fraction.
So now, better shards. Charge through onto the Hoodwink. They've got the Nether Strike. They'll have the Pin of Malice with the Firestorm. This is a dead Hoodwink and also stealing Scurry. Not the most amazing thing to steal, but it's a steal nonetheless. So they get that done. Charge coming out, and the Demo says they'll Fiend's Gate there too. Chasing and hoping. They've still got this charge. It's going to come through. No, they'll not commit to it.
Let's see real quick. So SF, no, he doesn't have MKB queued up at all. He finished the Daedalus instead. I was gonna say if he finishes an MKB, I give the Radiant almost 0% chance of winning. But without it, I think there's actually still a lot of Dota left to be played. SF right now is absurdly strong though. Like you probably want to avoid that guy.
We're gonna get this tier 2 tower. Nobody's stopping him. Nobody at all is stopping them, and you know you've got this TA. Like we said, if you had maybe Blink or BKB or something, it feels like maybe you could fight back. But right now, it doesn't feel like it at all.
Yeah, all map control is going to Bulgaria now, and there isn't really a whole lot you can do anymore as Croatia. That Roshan fight was so crucial, so crucial, and I can't help but think about the itemization. Like, really, if there was a blink tag on the TA, I think this game is almost over for the Croatian side. But now Bulgaria in full control. I'm still convinced by Rubik. I think SF is doing most of the hard lifting right now. Dagon 4, as the observer just pointed out. Do you like this build-up? I know it's pretty popular nowadays, but...
I like Dagon.
I mean, it is like a pseudo-defensive item too, right? It's got the life leech. It's got an easy kill. Well, welcome to Rubik City.
Yeah, welcome to Dota 2. Jesus.
And they say you get to lead in the league.
Yeah. Not quite so the reality there. As another tier 2 is going to go down, and they just don't have any answer for this. I don't really
Can't
know
even
how
stop
you
the high
answer.
ground push.
They're going to go high ground, and if you... I mean, you can glyph, and then they get melee racks, you could glyph again, but with the Aegis available for another 30 seconds, unless they time this perfectly, this could be a big issue. Instead, they're going to play it very safe. And
Absolutely too safe, even.
back away.
Yeah, I mean, Aegis was running out relatively soon, but I think they could have at least forced one more creep wave, at least.
Yeah, maybe get tier 3 and then back.
Yeah. And then with the next opportunity, you would just instantly get the big Rex.
But not the case at the moment. Croatia's still trying to farm their way back into the game. Not as easy as it seems. As things are just not going all too well. They've been cleaned up a couple times. You get charged on. They've got the Gleipnir for the Hoodwink soon.
He's charged. He's in trouble.
Yeah, charge is coming from the back, so it's going to bounce them up. They get a first hit bash. Now they've got the Stampede to try and leave. Mitch is nearby, and they won't get this kill, but there's no answer coming in from Croatia just yet.
He almost solo killed her. If there was one more lucky bash, she's actually dead.
Yeah. That's all you need. They're going to try and go. Pin of Malice is down. Tusk comes in. Sharpshooter trying to kill off this Rubik. They'll get the kill. They'll trade the tusk, but the Shadow Fiend hitting away at the TA. 4 staff forward. They get that kill. They can clean up Mitch. That's 3 heroes dead without buyback. A triple kill there for Lil Pleb. The charge coming all the way through. And trying to kill off this Windrunner. Not sure they have anybody else to help out. The right-click damage is there. The Bushwhack is in, and they'll end up losing the life of that Spirit Breaker.
A little bit overzealous. I think he just wanted to play with them a little bit while baiting out and waiting out the backup. Yeah. But turned a backfire a little bit. I actually think if he didn't die there, they could have easily gotten a Rex. Now I don't know if they can commit for the Rex. They are right now. Dude, 1 crit could kill the Hoodwink. Careful, careful, Hoodwink. Ow, ow, ow.
And they'll end up losing the Windrunner. Ooh, Lil Pleb ripping through. No buyback available for the Windrunner.
Yeah, this SF is nigh unstoppable at this point. The Hoodwink also survived like barely with 12 health.
Yeah.
Fun little interaction there. Only survived because she ran outside of the presence of the Dark Lord. So regaining her armor, otherwise she's gone.
So
well, that's 2 Rex down. And I mean, as I mentioned before, Windranger is just such a volatile hero.
It looks like if they lose this fight, it could just be game. The shards are there to block. They've got the Stampede to try and back away, but the Nether Strike hits on a Mitch. The right clicks are in from Lil Pleb. They'll get the kill on a Mitch. They'll work on this bottom tier 3. They've got themselves a glyph. But will it matter? I don't really think so.
No, 1 tower left. And what can you really do? This SF right now is way too strong. 1 hit is all it takes. Or Dagon.
Dagon does it, and now you're going up against Mega Creeps, and you don't exactly do that well against Mega Creeps. It ain't fun right now, that's for sure. And they can hold on, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do much of anything by holding on. How long? I don't even know if they can.
MVP mind control?
Feels like it, even though his lane didn't start that amazingly. Walrus Punch is there. Hoya going in. They still can't kill the Marcy just yet. Dagon's used. There's a Meld Strike to get the kill onto the Marcy. They got the Bushwhack on a 2. Right clicks from this TA starting to stack up. They've got the Sharpshooter onto the SF. Doesn't have an Aegis, but still surviving. Kills off the Windrunner. Down goes the TA. Has buyback for one last ride.
Dude, that sidekick lifesteal
Is stupid.
is ridiculous. Yeah, he has the Master Madness lifesteal on top of that. Absolutely shredding everyone.
Second tier 4 is down. Buyback comes out from the TA. Still no Windrunner. Still no availability with the Windrunner and the full 5-man, but they'll get the kill on the TA. That's going to be it. Mitch ends up dead. There's nothing they can do. They'll clean up the tusk. GG is called, and Bulgaria take game number 1 over this Croatian squad.
Early game and the early mid game also looked pretty rough, but this one Roche fight really turned the entire game around. And I can't help but think about the itemization of the Radiant side. Of course, the heroes aren't the easiest to play. Like TA and Windranger both are pretty volatile, and having both of them in the same team, one mistake like that and you're out. You know, they literally had all the opportunities before that, but once they had that Aegis on the SF, they literally just couldn't play the game anymore. SF took all towers. Then he went up to high ground, farmed the entire map, and suddenly was just way too strong for you to deal with.
Yeah, and that ends up being the difference, right? Like you talked about itemization, and that ends up being a real difference maker. As we'll take a look at the replay here, and you'll see, like you said, if the Blink Dagger is available in that Roche fight, this game is probably completely different.
Yeah. I mean, it is just an itemization thing where Dragonlance is the go-to build. Blink Dagger is I wouldn't say outdated, but for a right-click TA like that, you generally don't go into Blink before Dragonlance. So I can understand that, but I really think in this game in particular, you needed to make adjustments because there's no follow-up damage for the Centaur. Like, why do you have a Centaur if nobody can follow up? You know, might as well pick like a Legion Commander off then or something then.
Right. Yeah.
Like something that can actually, rely on herself rather than other teammates to dish out the damage for her.
Right. Yeah, I don't disagree, and it feels like they fell off short. Once that Roche fight was finished, there was no coming back on this one. It seemed like they just continued to roll on the side of Bulgaria. They gave up a couple of kills here and there, but other than that, SF was impossible to beat. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there isn't really much to say about it. That one fight was all it took. That's a draft. Well, it's not an issue. It's just a much more complicated draft to execute. They executed really well, and then that one Roche fight just completely broke their back. I mean, I've been repeatedly telling you over the years we've been working together. I don't like lineups like that, where one mistake just costs you the entire game. It's like, you know,
yeah, and it wasn't even that big of a mistake. It was a little bit of just itemization mistakes that caused that fight mistake that caused the loss, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't want to pin it all on the TA, of course. It was a great situation for Blinkdagger, but even the teammates, like maybe you got to communicate a bit better or be in a little bit of a better position, be a little bit more patient because the shards lasted a little longer, right? They all got pretty trigger happy.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, I'm not going to blame TA for whatever happened. But as a team, you pick this draft, you make a mistake like that, you're out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So, other finishes around the rest of the qualifiers. Romania took game one over France. Serbia took game one over Montenegro. And obviously, Bulgaria took game one here. So we'll see if Bulgaria can finish off the 2-0 or if it's going to be a 3 full set. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll see you in a bit. All right, and welcome back here to more IESF European qualifiers. We got ourselves game 2 between Bulgaria and Croatia. As Bulgaria took game number 1, they're looking to take game number 2, and we do have a draft underway, so we can get right on into that and see where the bans are at. No Snapfire ban, no Hoodwink ban just yet, but we'll see what comes out of this. As Darkseer gets banned yet again. We're not seeing this hero all too much for all the right reasons, though this hero feels insane. So,
Yeah. Yep. I'm happy we don't see him. I'm happy we don't see Beastmaster as well. Nobody needs these heroes in their life, really. Screw them. What is your most hated hero this patch?
Monkey King, maybe Pango. I just hate that Pango's still in the draft or still in the meta.
I feel like he'll always be in. I don't know. Just how the hero works.
Yeah.
Unless you literally make him unusable, he should always be in the meta.
I think so. But we'll see if it ever gets banned. Nyx Assassin getting banned, maybe hinting at, say, an Enchantress coming through for the side of Bulgaria.
Potentially, yeah.
That's been a popular pick. But I saw it earlier today get countered by the Nyx Assassin, so
You mean the Eng?
yes.
Yep. I mean, Nyx in general is a weird hero. I feel like personally it's very strong, but obviously nobody really seems to agree with that. Because nobody picks it. But I think just the threat he offers on the map is pretty ridiculous compared to a lot of other forts. But of course, lane is not so strong. He has a bunch of weaknesses. I'm sad. They should just buff him, honestly.
Hero instead. I've seen Jakiro games feel pretty bad. There was the Jakiro Ancient Apparition duo that played for Falcons against Liquid just an hour or so ago, and that did really poor.
Sorry, Jakiro and who?
Jakiro and Ancient Apparition was the combo.
That sounds like a terrible support duo.
It was.
Yeah.
And as much as I want Ancient Apparition in the meta, I don't think Bone Chill is the right facet.
No,
one that
sorry,
lowers the
he took that
strength.
one.
Yeah, and that's been the more taken one overall.
What's the strength reduction again per death rhyme?
It's nothing crazy, right?
No, I think it's like a 1 or something.
Let's see. It is 0.5, 0.75, 1, and 1.25.
Yeah, it really doesn't sound like a whole lot.
It doesn't sound like a lot. I feel like the exposure one is better, at least in my opinion. But I said that in chat and I got ripped apart for it.
By whom? By Twitch chat.
Just other chatters. They said you're 3K. Shut the, shut up. So
So the
you're
classic answer you would expect.
yeah, somebody was like, "What? You think you know better than the pros?" I go, "No, that's not what I was saying at all. I just think it's better. I'm allowed to have thoughts on the game, just like everybody's allowed to have thoughts on
Yeah,
the game."
you're allowed to have different opinions for sure.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of these pro players, including myself back then as well, we have very hard set opinions, which oftentimes actually makes us weaker in the
Mm-hmm.
actual game. So don't let the discourage you, beat Cup. Get your opinion out there.
Yeah. So fight me. Not really.
Exactly.
Not really. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Don't worry, I'll be there for you.
Don't fight me, please. I'm tired.
I'll be there for you, man. That's fine.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to fight. I'm tired. I just.
No, you're not fighting. I'm fighting for you.
I just
I'm
want to
your
go to
champion.
bed. Please just let me sleep.
That
That's
sounds very depressed.
Yeah.
Let me sleep. Oh, another day of work. I can't do it.
Let me do the long sleep. Get me out of here. So let's see. Shadow Fiend, Enigma getting banned. Croatia with the hoodwink. They're gonna need a really convincing draft, and they go into the Tusk.
So same supports as last game.
Yes, very stubborn. There are a lot of teams that do that, where they're just like, anything you could do, I could do better. Or if it didn't work before, let's do it again.
Literally the exact draft so far.
Yeah, that's.
Maybe. I mean, honestly, that wasn't really a problem though. I feel like the Wind Ranger and TA cores were not optimal. Maybe changing them up will be the secret sauce that they need.
Right. Maybe.
Or maybe not.
Maybe.
So far, I think it has been 2-0s. After the first game was a loss. Well, not all 2-0s. I think we had like 1-1.
Yeah, Sweden and North Macedonia.
The rest was all 2-0s, right?
Mm-hmm. And so far, Romania is beating France 1-0. Serbia is beating Montenegro 1-0. We've got Bulgaria over Croatia 1-0, and Hungary took the first game over Kosovo. So Kosovo have looked okay.
Yeah.
Romania having some interesting changes.
They changed players, or
Apparently Bone Seven's not on the team anymore. CK getting picked up for Bulgaria. This feels, it gives them options. It feels very strong. They could throw CK off lane or safe lane.
Yeah, let's just say CK is a pretty ridiculous hero right now. With the ability to build Orchid.
Most hated hero of mine.
Against against Ember Spirit though, you are picking into a hero that's pretty strong against you already. So we'll see how that goes for him. But generally not something you would want to do. A little bit of a strange one.
Yeah.
But then again, is Pango ever bad? Not really.
Yeah, Pango should be bad once in a while. That'd be nice.
Ain't happening, my friend. Not happening.
So see these bans, Bloodseeker, obviously to protect the Pangolier.
Not a hero I've seen in forever though.
Yeah. And that used to be the ban when you picked Weaver back in the day, and I was surprised with how much Weaver we were seeing in games that we didn't see Bloodseeker more often.
What is your opinion on Bloodseeker, this patch? I've literally not seen him by anyone, even in pubs.
He's in some of my pubs. He's okay.
Think it's fine?
Yeah, I think he's fine. I think he can. I just don't think he's as bursty as other heroes. Like a lot of these cores seem to burst real quickly. Where it's like, yeah, rupture immobilizes you, but at the same time, you still need a lot of right clicks to come out from your Bloodseeker to even secure the kills. Yeah, I just don't know if you're
True.
quick enough like that.
No, I mean, I get it. Burst is, I mean, it's always safer, right?
Mhm.
Bursting a hero and then getting out is much safer than having to stand there and physically beat the crap out of him.
So a lot of time being used on this next and final ban. They get that Windrunner out of the way. The Troll is out of the way. You gotta wonder, are they gonna go back to anything that they've used before? Do they want to?
Do they need?
Yeah, the Windrunner and the TA kind of petered out for them, even though it felt like the right picks.
I would just be happy if there's no Wind Ranger or TA in this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, don't want to see either of them. Get them out.
Gyro. Gyro could do damage, but there's definitely the chance that CK just rips him apart.
Yeah. I mean, Gyro is a two-edged sword against CK. Either you get super overfarmed and you kill everything in seconds, or he's super overfarmed and he kills you in seconds.
Yeah. They go Doom, so it'll be a safe lane CK. Doom's okay. I haven't been too impressed by it. It won a game, lost a game when we were watching earlier, but see how it goes. Mind control back in the off lane.
Do you like Doom as a hero?
Depends on the draft. I think he's okay, but we saw in one of the games where it was just like, okay, he used Doom. Now we know they have nothing, and we can just go after him.
Right.
Go
Yeah,
after
yeah.
everybody, really.
Did you get mad when they made him like a targeted AA? Like, was your AA heart a bit hurt?
Yeah, because there's been multiple times where they just make other things ancient apparitions. Spirit Vessel is one of the prime examples of that. You know,
Yes.
still does AA things, and then there was Doom, and feels like, you know, if you're gonna do that to my guy, you might as well make him stronger. A lot of people say that the facet for the Death Rhyme is way worse.
It is way worse. I don't know why you would get flame for that. I really think it's just a thing where pro players are stuck in a certain mindset.
No, I mean, it's not just pro players saying that Death Rhyme is bad. I mean, people just think that it's a bad hero, and I can see why people think that. Is, you know, it is very tough to lane with Ancient Apparition, and Death Rhyme's pretty whatever, but this is a hero that constantly gets replaced by heroes and items.
Yeah. No, I get it too. Like, it is an incredibly weak laner in a very lane-oriented meta. So
Mhm.
it makes sense why it isn't being picked a lot. But as I said, I like the hero a lot. So do you. Maybe we'll get some more love in the future.
Maybe.
Hopefully. Probably not. Actually, no. What am I saying? Hopefully. Screw that hero. Jesus.
No. It needs
It
love.
ruins so many of my heroes.
It needs love. Shut up. It needs love.
Yeah, but ultimately it's just an ice ball.
Let's see.
Much more solid draft from Croatia this time around, at least. I'm happy with that. But Bulgaria, again, their draft is not half bad either. It's definitely, if you give us any sort of opening, we're going to run away with the game kind of draft.
Yeah, they definitely could. 1 second stun, dual breath, and a scatter blast. Mitch is in trouble. Blood grenade, first blood given up by Mitch.
Shots also off the mark. Already not the best beginning. Really, this kind of felt like a, like a pup attempt of trying to steal a rune. It's like, oh, there might be nobody here. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, it did cost a couple of blood grenades and whatnot. But I get you. CK could play pretty aggressive. Especially if they catch this hoodwink.
Yeah, but we've seen last game how strong Hoodwink Centaur can be. Don't want to underestimate that lane. But then again, CK is one of the most survivable heroes as well.
Yeah. Taking some early damage, a couple of stuns, nothing too crazy. Not a lot of mana left here for Lil Pleb, but does have a stick. And I believe, is this a wand coming out for CK?
Yeah, since the Bracer's done a quick buy, it should be.
No, his courier is going back. I thought it had the wand ready to finish, but dual breath and only a 1 second stun. Looking for the hoof stop and that lands. But again, nothing doing. They want to go for the hoodwink. Another acorn shot. And this acorn shot's getting annoying.
Yeah, Pleb, very low health. And that's the reason why a lot of people choose the Liquid Frost as their first ability. Just don't have mana. Ooh, no, Daimos.
Oh, gosh. Losing Gyro early on. And yeah, Snapfire is the trade for that. But giving up the Gyro is not what you want. And again, it's Doom this time, starting with Infernal Blade and then Scorched Earth.
I like that. The offensive Doom. It's very potent in the lane. Actually, it's quite underrated how much damage you can deal.
Bottom lane. They'll get the kill on Lil Pleb. And they even it up. Felt as though Lil Pleb was kind of just allowing himself to be hit so often. And now top lane once again. Jakiro getting low. This might be back-to-back deaths. And this would mean Jakiro or Gyrocopter is not getting back to lane that quickly because that TP's on cooldown for a while.
Yeah. Back-to-back deaths like that are always very, very tough, especially on a carry hero. Luckily, he's on a Gyrocopter, so he can recover, but just looking again at the CS just like last game, only the mid lane is doing well. That was also just the case in last game. The other lanes were doing very well for Bulgaria.
Swashbuckle. It's Mastermind back mid this time, though. Mind Control having a much more fun game. Knows he's going to be here alone without Gyrocopter. And it's not the full bore on Snapfire for the facet.
Oh, on support stand, it's interesting. Well, it's a 4, so 4 there's always much more potential to transition to a core, of course. Ooh, you're careful.
Oh, good cookie. Although into the rocket barrage, they still get this kill. 3 kills now for Mind Control, and this is on a hero that likes to farm and get it quickly, so giving that up is a big issue.
Good news is at least that he didn't skill highly into the Devour
Liquid
yet.
Frost and some right clicks onto this hoodwink.
Oh, that crit, man. That was a lot of pain.
Dual breath, 2 second stun, acorn shot. Mitch taking a lot of damage. Liquid Frost, and they only need a couple more. They'll use a reality rift to be on them, but the hoof stomp under the tower. Dual breath is there. Mind Control's got another kill on the Gyrocopter. They get this kill onto the Centaur. Liquid Frost is there. Make it another 7-3 as the Jakiro dies under tower.
These devs really don't matter, though, as nobody gets the experience. Very well played. I love this to the limit plays that they're doing. You can just feel That's kind of what I was speaking about as well before the series started. Like, they need some confidence, and I think the game one really gave them a confidence. The way they're playing right now is really nice. Now the TP top from the Hoodwink as well. Shouldn't amount to anything, though.
Oh my gosh.
Gee, what is that Shredder damage?
Yeah, early it's stupid. That's a level 1 low shredder. It's leaving Centaur bottom alone.
Yeah, and Hoodwink TP top can, of course, take the portal back, but it's also going to take a while.
So, what are your ways out of this, like, early deficit?
Oh! That was a nice pickoff. Now it's worthwhile. It's almost over 4 now on the support.
Yeah, but they go to the reality rift onto this Centaur, hoof stomp, and Mitch looking like he's dead again. Even under the tower, they really do not care.
Maybe they should care.
Dual breath, and ooh, Tusk is gonna die, and Mitch will fall. 2 more dead. Mastermind dying though, like you said, is pretty rough. But they lose the Gyro. Gyro's dead for the 4th time already.
Dude, he's getting massacred. It's not supposed to be that difficult for him.
Chikiro?
But man, they're crushing him.
Chikiro has 10 wand charges right now. He could turn. And he also does have the healing Lotus if somebody wants to come and help. But with Mitch here, it should be a double edge. Bushwhack lands, hoof stomps there. Now the acorn shot hits. Double edge on a little pleb, and maybe he outplayed himself, but he does have himself a healing Lotus.
Yeah, of course has the boots, whereas the other heroes all do not have the boots. That's honestly a little bit annoying with Centaur. That you don't buy boots. Like, you always feel super slow, especially in the laning phase. Takes a lot of power away from you.
Right.
Look at CK, he's like way faster. And they're both riding a horse. Like, one is a horse.
Doom, by the way, going to take this Wisdom Rune and try to get to 6 as quickly as possible. Mastermind's here down bottom. They go and throw the Remnant over. DNZ is low. Ice Path lands. They'll get that kill on the DNZ. They've got the Searing Chains onto the Centaur, who's only level 4. Rolling Thunder runs out. This should be another kill. A 1-second stun. Mastermind's got a double, and DZY can't do anything but watch.
I just noticed it, actually. DZY is having an amazing game. Unfortunately, the gank didn't work out for him. Mastermind read that pretty well and rotated with him. Basically ruining his entire game plan. Yeah, the Centaur is struggling mega hard. So is Gyrocopter. I mean, at least Gyro CS okay, but dying 4 times is rough.
Yeah, he is only 500 gold behind the CK, despite 4 deaths. Crazy how little early deaths can mean.
Yeah. Yeah, compared to late game deaths especially. But the good news at least is that, well, whoever's doomed is dead. Yep.
That's Pango. And you're going to look over as Scatterblast hits DNZ. The DZY and DNZ and the DMV and the DTV, they're all dead.
At least Gyrocopter's not dead.
Yet.
Pretty low in health though.
Yeah, and he's shipping out a Salve and a Clarity.
No, it's funny seeing the CS like this, but being behind 4k gold. It's very strange.
They have kisses. They'll just use them. Mitch is dead.
Freebie.
Doom's got the Scorched Earth with the follow-up of an Ensnare if need be. This Tier 1 tower is going to drop, and it's a 4,000 net worth lead right now for Bulgaria. Really well done. And this should continue. Snowball onto the Jakiro, little shredder, Ice Path lands, dead Tusk. 16-5. And they are bringing over everybody because they know Mitch is going to be jumped on. They just used kisses, so it's still down for 70 seconds. Stampede, they'll go. Macropyre down. Rolling Thunder used. They get the kill on La Jolla. But the Remnant forward and the Sleight of Fist, they're able to get a kill there onto Mitch. They might even turn this for more. Jakiro's got the dual breath. They're going to right-click away. Sleight of Fist again. As DNZ is low, Snowball is there. Remnant out of this and away, but not far away. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. My Control is here with the Ensnare, has the Infernal Blade. No Doom for 30 seconds. So these heroes do survive, but they don't get much, except for the supports.
Yeah, and losing the Centaur again feels a little bit bad, especially because he wants to be that tanky frontline later on. While also leaving the CK and Gyrocopter, respectively, both to farm. But, you know, when you're behind like this, at least in experience, these kills really matter, though. Even though they're just supports, they're worth a lot of experience, which is what the Dire desperately needs right now. They need level 6 on the Hoodwink ASAP.
Oh, boy. Gyro might be dead again.
He's toast.
Scatterblast and early Ice Path level feels so good. And Mind Control not even having to use that Doom that just came off cooldown to get that kill on the Gyrocopter.
And cool kids don't look at explosions.
Fantastic.
Incredibly tanky CK2. Can't really dive in that easily. I mean, they do have a lot of damage now with the Hoodwink ult.
Mastermind's coming back towards top. Gyro is TPing mid. There are a bunch of heroes nearby. Ember shows up, and DNZ is going to be caught. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. They've got the Sentry, 2-second stun. That is enough time here to get the kill, as Mastermind's now dominating.
It's a little too easy for them. While they're also split pushing top. Defending bottom, pushing top. Can't get much more perfect than that.
So 6,000 net worth lead.
Where's your way back here, Croatia? So, the cores are all struggling, obviously. Pangolier really has to be the hero for the team. And he almost has his Echo Saber. But that's just, you know, it's not a super power spike. It's like an item that you have and it feels good. And you do a little bit more damage, but it's not like a blink like a Centaur or like a Sand King or something like that. So will he really be able to bring that team back that easily? Probably not.
No, not really. He's down so much. Oh my god. Bushwhack used bottom. Sharpshooter going to be shot, but the Phantasm still hits. Now they've got the Reality Rift with the Stampede Snowball coming over. But the Ice Path, the Macropyre, the Dual Breath, the Liquid Frost, the Illusions hitting away. Call down is used, but for what?
Gets 100% illusion damage, man. When are they gonna change that? It's just so much.
Yeah, never.
Never?
Never.
You know, you're completely right. I'm afraid.
Yeah, no. I know I am. Truth be told, I'm starting to sense that this game might be over with. Yeah, they've got this. Rough. They don't even need the Doom on the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, this
that
is
is
usually
the 6th time he died, and they're going to TP bottom. They'll end up losing Lil Pleb. If there is a time to use Doom, it might be now on the Pango, but they're going to lose these other 3 heroes. Ice Path lands. Mitch is going to die here eventually. They are even looking for this Pangolier. But they'll also swipe the Wisdom Rune.
Yeah, it's their Doom available, so not much Pango can do at all. 8k lead now. Like, the biggest problem is really just the level difference now. And Jakira has been doing so much for the team. Turns out to be a fantastic pick there. Yeah, they look a little bit defeated, unfortunately.
Oh.
Pango roll, though.
They're going to TP into this, and they're going to try and get a kill here. The Doom is now placed on the Pango, and he's the only one they really care to get. Scorched Earth, he's dead on his screen already. Snowball over, picking up the Centaur into the Macropyre. Sleight of Fist, the damage is crazy. They get the kill on La Jolla, but it does not matter. Mitch, Beauty, they both die. Finally, they get the Jakiro. Call down's going to be used. Sleight of Fist, the Remnant away up onto the cliff. Doom getting chased. They do not have the help here from Lil Pleb, but they will have the Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, trying to turn this around. They'll at least lose DNZ, and I believe Mastermind, he should have the damage to get this kill. He doesn't have a Remnant to catch up. He has a Sleight of Fist in a second, but he won't land it.
No Remnant, unfortunately, to catch up there, but still, these trades, I mean, they started with 8k, now it's 9k, so it wasn't perfect. At least they're getting back a little bit in terms of experience. And Gyrocopter was the one actually benefiting a lot from these kills, so it could be a lot worse for them. No, but next time Doom is off cooldown again, obviously Pango is going to get doomed again. Like, oh, Lil Pleb.
Well, Pleb might have gotten himself, but here come the Mortimer's Kisses. Stun onto Mitch, and burning away is this Tusk.
100% damage illusions, my friend.
Liquid Frost, Bushwhack there. Tusk, do you really want to come back into this one? They have slowed up this Hoodwink. They'll land the Ice Path. They'll bring over Lil Pleb. 1 second stun. Good shards. Gyro's here to throw the homing missile and stop their aggression, but it's still a 10,000 net worth lead.
And so only looking to grow with that Doom, of course. Losing against Doom feels so bad, because you know he's going to be farming way faster than you. You also know he's just going to be dooming one of your heroes, so you're -1. It's like that. It's the perfect tournament hero, honestly. Doom always has been. He's quite boring, in my opinion, but so stable.
Yeah, very stable. Blink near finished here on Mastermind. They are waiting for Lil Pleb to show his face. There's a tier 1 tower that they could go to, and when the Bushwhack misses, that means it's time to bail. So, unfortunate that they missed that. Gyro's still trying to farm. He's going into a first item BKB.
That's never really what you want to see. I can understand why, but it's going to kind of ruin his... Well, I say ruin his game. His game is not really... it's pretty ruined already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like the call. It could potentially bring him back into the game, with him just being a tank for the team.
Scan on a Mitch. Wondering if they just want to go to the wind and go for this. They'll force out the Rolling Thunder, the only real teamfight spell that disrupts much. And now Mitch. Ice Path. They can use Doom if they want to. They will. He's dead very quickly. And they can start working on this tower if they wanted to with the next creep wave.
Was the Doom needed is the only question, but again, you're so far ahead. Might as
You've
well
got
use it. You
vision
can just
here.
go back to farm after.
Tusk kill with the Orchid. He's dead already.
Yep.
Lil Pleb will get another kill. It is now 31-11. Searing Chains onto the Pangolier, who will shield crash down. Bushwhack lands with the Gleipnir follow-up into an Ice Path. Reality Rift, DZY, no Rolling Thunder. That's another death. Now 32-11.
Well, yeah. I mean, all the core items are online. Obviously, it's incredibly tough to make anything work at this point.
Gyro, Gleipnir, he doesn't have that BKB just yet. It's on the courier. It's not going to matter. He'll die without it.
Yeah, getting absolutely torn apart. And this is sort of the narrative we spoke about. If you're just underfarmed, as a gyrocopter, you're just free food. I mean, let's be real. All of them are free food.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Jakir has a pipe complete, man. He's so tanky. Jeez.
They're severely under-leveled, too. They're 14 levels behind.
But you know what I mean, right? In this current meta, if you're behind, like, look how tanky everybody is. You cannot hope to win a fight. It's literally impossible.
Yep.
I really feel like in this current meta, if you lose the early game, you're just done. Like, you can't as well just leave the game.
In pro games, I would agree with that. In pubs, anything is possible.
And pubs, no. Pubs, no. Yeah. We're talking strictly pro games here, of course.
No, of course.
When is the last time you've seen a big pro game come back?
Probably DPC with you when we watched Vici come back from 40,000 net worth down to LBZS.
Oh, that was an epic one, though. Well, if you can't kill the enemy team, just kill the Tormentor.
It fights back, but not as hard.
Honestly, I always feel really bad for killing a Tormentor. Like, I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but the sounds it makes when you hit it, it sounds very sad to me.
Yeah, its name is the Tormentor. I don't feel bad in the slightest.
Or maybe he's...
DZY, that ice path off the mark, but Searing Chains and...
Searing Chains is not off the mark.
Yeah.
Good night, sir.
It's not named the Tormented, it's the Tormentor, doing the tormenting.
Yeah, I get that, but maybe he was forced into it. We don't know his lore.
Okay.
You know, maybe he doesn't want to do it. But it's like a Thanos kind of thing, you know? Maybe he was
a Thanos kind of thing?
Yeah, maybe he was threatened with a snap, you know, if he doesn't do it.
Hold on. Thanos did it.
He did do it, yeah.
Yeah. Are we trying to say that he was, like, tormented into doing it? Oh.
No. I'm saying the Tormentor might be.
Okay.
Yeah. Jakiro,
Gyro doesn't have BKB. He's here. And he's hit with the Gleipnir. This is a huge issue. He doesn't have BKB. They find him, he'll die. And I think if they get fully stomped in this fight, this one's over. A Remnant forward, the Doom is on. The Walrus Punch is there to try and protect, but they get past this call down. And DZY dies. Beauty is dead. They're right onto the Gyrocopter. They just got to keep him close. The homie missile won't matter. Full team wipe.
Yeah.
And GG is called. Bulgaria take the 2-0 over Croatia and knock them out of this qualifier.
Unfortunately, it was not meant to be for them. Yeah, after game one, they just kind of... They felt a little deflated, didn't they?
The lanes just went even worse than last time, too.
Yeah.
Nothing you could do there. It just felt like it was spiraling out of control, and it did.
It always feels a little bad to lose like that. You know, like without any chance to fight back.
Yeah. It was rough.
Especially in an elimination game. Yeah.
Gyro died like 7 times to start.
Yeah, top lane went horribly wrong.
Yeah. Like I said, what can you do? Feels tough. Yeah. Feels impossible.
I mean, sometimes just like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Competition.
Yes. Definitely. So, again, what can you do?
Can only take it and hope that you do better next time.
Yeah.
Truly, I mean, highlights are running, but highlights are really just Bulgaria running them over from start to finish.
In every lane, in every movement, in every way. Yeah, it does look like that. So that will be all we really see on this, as this is the highlights of the matchup. And we're already seeing it's 37-10 there. This game ends 39-11. Or does that say 27-10? Either way. I mean, this one ends pretty soon after that happened. This game only lasted 22 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's what we call toughie. A toughie, my friend.
Yeah.
Especially to enter tournament life. But
yeah,
let's look at the bright side.
Eliminated.
Bulgaria, you know, they need a little awakening, and I hope that did it for them. Because the team they have, honestly, even without BZM, it should be very competitive.
Right.
And they've definitely shown it here. I really like the way they drafted. This game, they obviously played super well. Game 1, they also played really well, but I think they just had a much better draft. I think Game 2 was just everything. Better draft, better gameplay. No complaints.
Yeah, that's really all you can hope for is Bulgaria take the 2-0 over the side of Croatia, and results around the board are not updated just yet, but Bulgaria will move on to face Poland in the next round, so we'll be seeing them in the next series or during that slew of next series. We're going to be going to an extended break waiting for that series. We'll see you guys then. We'll be back soon.